My name is Micah Kittay, and this is Micah's Take. With the 2020 NFL Draft being tomorrow, I figured I'd give my take on it. So let's start with the number one overall pick. Let's be honest, there's no question here. The Cincinnati Bengals have the number one overall pick, and they are going to select Joe Burrow, the quarterback at LSU, who lit up college football last year. The Bengals have been stuck in mediocrity for the past, what feels like millennia, but has probably only been 5 years. That mediocrity has been in the form of head coach Marvin Lewis and quarterback Andy Dalton. The former of which they fired last year, and I expect them to supplant the latter in this draft, and they have a great opportunity to do so. As Joe Burrow, it is unassailable that he is the number one overall. He's the number one overall pick. He is the best quarterback in this draft, and he is just the most accurate passer whom I've ever scouted in my life. He can put the ball wherever he wants to, and he can throw guys open in ways that I could never anticipate. Someone can be well covered, and he'll put it in a place where only his guy can get it. And that level of anticipation that he shows is outstanding, and superlative. He played well in the college football playoffs against even Clemson's defense, who's going to have a lot of players drafted in this draft and in future drafts as well, and he lit them up. And I have a good feeling there's going to be a great deal of mirth in Cincinnati if and when this pick is announced. The Redskins had a terrible year last year, one that caused them to fire both their head coach and their general manager. And now they hired Ron Rivera. And Ron Rivera who brought the Carolina Panthers to the Super Bowl only 5 years ago, has a big choice to make. Last year, the Redskins selected Dwayne Haskins, the quarterback out of Ohio State, 15th overall. He didn't show great promise, but that could only be expected as a rookie. But he has the opportunity to draft somebody whom he may think is better. And there's plenty of options to do so. He can go to Tagovailoa, the quarterback out of Alabama, or Justin Herbert, the quarterback out of Oregon. But I think that they don't draft a quarterback, and they want to see what Dwayne Haskins has. So I think they draft one of the greatest defensive players to come out of college football in the past several years. This man disrupts every game. So with the second pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Chase Young. Chase Young changes the game plan of any offense that he plays against. You'll see that whenever you look at the games when people are playing Ohio State, they'll make sure that their quarterback gets rid of the ball ASAP, because they know that Chase Young would eat their quarterback alive if they held on to it for more than a couple seconds. The Lions, just like the two teams prior, have had plenty of dysfunction this year. Matt Patricia, their head coach, has a very certain level of coaching that he got from Coach Bill Belichick. The thing about this style of coaching is it has very little fun and it's very hard. So the only way that players will buy into this coaching style is if they win. And as clearly they didn't, as they have the number 3 overall pick in the draft. So now that they played so poorly last year, Coach Matt Patricia is on the hot seat. I do think that it is very possible that they trade back, as they have many needs, and they could still get a great player later in the draft, as well as stock up on picks that can each of which will be able to help their future. However, in this mock draft, there are no trades due to the unpredictable and random nature of so many draft day trades. So I have been sticking here in my mock draft and taking cornerback Jeffrey Okudah out of the Ohio State University. Okudah is the perfect cornerback prospect. He has clean footwork, great size. He had no penalties called against him, and his technique is flawless, and he has Pro Bowl potential 100%. Also, this goes well because they just traded away Darius Slay, and so they have a very clear need at cornerback. And I believe Jeffrey Okudah to more than fill that need. Dang, on this one the Giants were good. They have the 4th pick in this year's draft, and I have them selecting the offensive tackle out of Alabama named Jedrick Wills Jr. It looks like, and I'd hope, that they found their franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. He showed a great deal of promise his rookie year, albeit a couple too many fumbles. But I do think that he has showed what is necessary to be a franchise quarterback in the NFL. So now it's time for the Giants to build around. Sure, they can go out and they could draft Isaiah Simmons, the dynamic playmaker on defense. But I think that Dave Gettleman tries to protect his biggest commodity. NFL teams should be like parents. When they get a baby, they make sure nothing harms that baby. So that's why I think that Dave Gettleman goes out and he gets some protection for Daniel Jones. In my opinion, Jedrick Wills is the best tackle prospect in this draft class. He is big, strong, agile, and he has everything necessary to be a starting left tackle in the NFL. Granted, he did play right tackle at Alabama, but that's only because Tua Tagovailoa, his quarterback, was left-handed. So to protect his blind side, he had to play right tackle. But he can definitely transition over to right tackle. He is just a smart player who knows his offense, who knows the defense he's playing better than they know themselves. He can pick up stunts like nobody's business. And also, whenever I looked at tape of anybody on Alabama's offense or defense playing Alabama, I always noticed that nobody was ever getting past Jedrick Wills. This man, you cannot get by this man. He can keep people in a different zip code than his quarterback. He protected Tua last year, and he'll protect Daniel Jones this year. It was a rough season in Miami, let's be honest. It took about 3 weeks of being outscored for a combined 133-16 to become the laughingstock of the NFL, a crown which the Bengals captured later in the season, of course. But they do have ample needs this offseason, but they also have a myriad of draft picks to address those needs. Of course, they did get those draft picks by trading away top-tier talents and a great safety in Micah Fitzpatrick and a top-tier left tackle in Laramie Tunsil. However, they got great value for both of them, so I definitely think those were the right moves. And so I have them draft. And the thing is, one need that they have that you cannot ignore is the need at quarterback. As much as I like Josh Rosen, it doesn't look like he's going to be a good fit in Miami. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is a great backup quarterback, but he's a backup quarterback. And so I have them taking Justin Herbert, the quarterback out of Oregon. This pick was down to between Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback out of Alabama, or Justin Herbert, the quarterback out of Oregon. While I personally prefer Tua to Justin Herbert, I do think that the Dolphins will disagree with me. And so I think that they prefer Justin Herbert, as he has such great arm talent. He is an excellent thrower of the football. He is athletic, and he has such a powerful arm, and he has great size. He's not a Lamar Jackson in terms of his mobility, but he can definitely run for his fair share of first downs. The thing is, people are very divided on him. There are people who notice his talent, and they know that they can build around that talent, and how if they can really grab that talent and build that talent, he could be such a great football player. But there are also those who realize how inconsistent he was in college. There were a couple games that he looked like the number 1 overall pick, and there were games he looked like a 3rd-round talent. He's not that great at reading defenses. He's not that great at going through his progressions. However, the beauty of this pick in Miami is he should not, and he will not play for the first year, as he needs to work on these things. However, Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is a veteran in the NFL, is a great guy to teach him how to do all of it. And I think with 1 year of sitting under Ryan Fitzpatrick, he will be able to achieve the best that he can. This also lines up well with the Dolphins' plans, as they are not going to be competitive this year. But after a bunch of 1st and 2nd round picks in the next couple drafts, and ample cap space next year, they're building for 2 years from now, which is exactly when Justin Herbert will be ready to take the reins and lead the Miami Dolphins to success in the National Football League. Now, the 6th overall pick, we come to the Los Angeles Chargers, which will always sound funny. They will always be the San Diego Chargers to me. And they have one of the most talented, and they have one of the most talented rosters in football, and let's be honest, the greatest uniforms in football as well, which is a great combination. However, despite their talent on both offense and defense, they're picking 6th. This is due to a largely dormant offense, and this inactivity on offense is due to Phillip Rivers' meager play. With Phillip Rivers, whom they got rid of this offseason, and I think it is now in Indianapolis. However, they do need to replace him, as I don't care what they say, I do not think Tyrod Taylor can bring them to a championship. And so I think that they draft a quarterback here, and they have a great opportunity to do so, as they can draft Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa has wowed people ever since he stepped on the field as a freshman. He is such a talented quarterback, and he can make plays. He's also incredibly advanced in his way to manipulate safeties using his eyes, and he also has the second greatest accuracy in this draft to Joe Burrow, of course. He's also able to evade defenders incredibly well, although he could use improvement on that. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he can definitely throw with superlative anticipation. And you don't need the strongest arm when you play in Los Angeles. Let's be honest with ourselves here, people. And the biggest question, of course, is his durability, as he ended the season with a nasty hip injury, and many teams haven't been able to work him out in their facility due to the coronavirus. That the biggest question mark is whether he is healthy now and whether he can stay healthy as well. But if he can stay healthy and if he can really work in those Charger uniforms with that Charger team on both with an outstanding defense and offense, great things will happen. Wow, the Panthers had a crazy year at the quarterback position. They lost their franchise quarterback in Cam Newton to injury halfway through the year. Then it looked like they found a new star in quarterback Kyle Allen. But then after subpar play from him, they had to put Will Greer in, who was their 3rd-round pick last year. And then after he got hurt, they had to put Kyle Allen back in. Through this chaos, they won a measly 5 games, and Coach Ron Rivera was fired. Now they brought in Matt Rule, the head coach from Baylor. He was sought after by many teams this offseason due to his success in turning around the Baylor football program. And so the first decision that Matt Rule had to make as head coach was his quarterback. He had to think about which of these many options that he has should be his quarterback. He had an option to go with Cam Newton, who had injury concerns, but has proven to be a superstar when he can get on the field, or he could turn to free agency. He decided on the latter, deciding that he would rather have Teddy Bridgewater to be his quarterback as opposed to Cam Newton. A lot of people question whether this was an upgrade or not. There's not a doubt in my mind that it is. While Teddy Bridgewater isn't as flashy as Superman Cam, he is a very mature player, and not to mention he's 3 years younger. So if they want to build around him, they have more time to do so. And also there's fewer injury question marks with him, and he's just more of a grown-up. And so with this hire, Matt Rule is setting the culture for whom he wants his Carolina Panthers to be. And so now with this 7th overall pick, I have them selecting Isaiah Simmons. This pick works really well with the sudden and surprising retirement of superstar linebacker Luke Kuechly, who has been a mainstay on that Carolina defense for years, and in my opinion was the greatest linebacker in football. Now they have a chance to supplant him with someone like Isaiah Simmons. He is incredibly talented, can make plays all around the field. And he is also the living embodiment of the word versatility. He is incredibly versatile. He can play any position on the second or third levels of defense. He can even play cornerback if you need him to. And he can also keep up and cover all those tight ends in the league. And also with Rob Gronkowski entering his division this year, that will definitely be necessary for the Panthers to do, as they don't want the Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski connection to burst with life again, because that is a lethal combination. And so if they want a chance when they play the Buccaneers twice a year, they're going to have to make sure they can contain Rob Gronkowski, and Isaiah Simmons is one of the few people on this earth that can do so. My name is Micah Kittay, and here's my top 15 for the 2020 NFL Draft. Number 1, Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow. Number 2, Washington Redskins, Chase Young. Number 3, Detroit Lions, Jeff Okudah. Number 4, New York Giants, Jedrick Wills Jr. Number 5, Miami Dolphins, Justin Herbert. Number 6, Los Angeles Chargers, Tua Tagovailoa. Number 7, Carolina Panthers, Isaiah Simmons. Number 8, Arizona Cardinals, Tristan Wirfs. Number 9, Jacksonville Jaguars, Derek Brown. Number 10, Cleveland Browns, Andrew Thomas. Number 11, New York Jets, CeeDee Lamb. Number 12, Las Vegas Raiders, Jerry Jeudy. Number 13, San Francisco 49ers, Henry Ruggs III. Number 14, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mekhi Becton. Number 15, Denver Broncos, Javon Kinlaw. And for the rest of them, go to micahstake.com, no apostrophe, and check it out. And let me know what you think.